end of May, I'll go through the quick update of my allotment. These are my main crop potatoes. You can see they're really going fast, and the flowers also appearing and most of the plants. And here these are my first early and second early potatoes. They're taller than my main crop because I planted them a week, maybe 2 weeks early. So they're doing really well, no issues found so far, and the weather is also coping really well for the plants. This is my asparagus bed. In between I planted some of the lettuces. You can see some beautiful lettuces and some beans as well. So these are dwarf beans, that's the dill, and some palak this side, and lettuces and marigolds. All these are doing really well. These are my salads, peppery salads. I started harvesting and giving to chickens. And look at this beautiful beetroots and spring onions in the middle. They get along really well, and most of the beetroots are ready to be harvested. You can see the size of the beetroot, and hopefully I'm going to harvest some of them this weekend. They're doing really well. They like a bit of shady area. That's what I did this year. I planted them in a bit of shady area and they really loved it. Hopefully next year I'll do the same thing. My second batch of beetroots. This is my perennial kale, Taunton Dean it's called, the variety. My friend gave it to me. Last year I lost my plant, so he gave me the cuttings. It's grown up out of the cutting. These are my second batch of cabbages and cullets in the middle. There are 4 cullet plants in the middle and 6 cabbages. And this side I got 10 kale plants. I need to weed off this bed tomorrow. This is my brassicas bed, cabbage, broccoli and cauliflower. I have harvested all my broccoli and the side shoots are coming as well. I'm going to remove those plants in 2 weeks time, maybe weeks time, and then I plant second batch of broccoli. And that's the cullet at the end. Yeah, that's the one. And I got tiny Brussels sprouts in the middle. The first batch I planted, they gone bolted. That's why I had to put the second batch. Hopefully they'll come up. And you can see beautiful cabbage forming there. And this is also a cabbage plant. And this side I got this cauliflower. There's one I harvested in this corner, and rest of this is the kale, and rest of the cauliflowers are just forming. These are my tomatoes. This is the first batch I planted next to the marigolds, and that's the second batch I planted. They are trying to settle down now. The first batch is settled down really well. I need to provide the support for them sooner or later. This is my greenhouse. Look at the size of the tomato plant. They already touched the ceiling. I had to cut the plant heads, and there's a fruit in there. Most of the plants, they got a fruit. The bigger fruit, they go down. Look at the big fruit there. And everywhere I got the fruit, most of the plants. Hopefully I should be able to harvest these ones, especially in 2 weeks time. Generally I do harvest my first tomatoes in first or second week of June every year from this greenhouse. So hopefully this year also it will happen in a similar way. These are doing really well, these tomatoes. This is my sweet corn bed. It's been more than 2 weeks now. They settled down really well and started growing as well. And marigolds in the front. This is my kohlrabi. You can see they're forming. I harvested the lettuce in the middle, and I need to harvest the rest of the lettuce as well. Otherwise the kohlrabi is doing really good. This is my peas bed. green peas. All the pods, you can see, pods are formed, and hopefully in a week's time or 2 weeks time I'm going to harvest them. I directly sown some of the seeds. The tiny seedlings come up now everywhere. They will give me the second batch of harvest. This is my first bed out of 3 onion beds. This is my second bed of onions, and some of them are overwintered, some of them are planted this year. Somehow this year my onions are not doing well. This is my second batch of garlic. I will harvest in 2 weeks time, maybe 3 weeks time, and I replant something else in there. Look at these broad beans. They will be ready in, I would say, in weeks time. And look at the tall broad bean plants, and they're doing really well this year. These I planted in November. These are the overwintered broad bean seeds I planted. And this bed is Asian greens. These are the Indian beans and Asian greens. Most of them seeds from India, and all of them are germinating. The tiny plants there as well. This is my beans bed. You can see all these are borlato beans, and the other side are climbing French beans. They are doing really well. Most of them are directly sown the seeds and they came up. The coriander on the right side along with my marigold. These are my courgettes, 2 plants. I have a couple of courgettes left. I need to plant them. This is my methi. I planted 4 days ago. Seeds directly sown here, and then they all come up. And look at this spinach, the variety. I always put the variety in there. Apollo. And coriander next to spinach. And this is Indian palak. I need to harvest it because some of them are gone bolt, but we can still cook it. Tastes nice. These are sweet peppers, and you can see small peppers forming. Even though I chopped up the tops earlier, they forming again. That's good sign. And there also you can see one of them hiding there, the big one, long one. And the 6 plants, I need to weed off this bed. And this side, the chilies. These the 6 chili plants, and this one is the Indian chili, and that one is Hungarian wax, and these ones are Caribbean blend, and those 2 are Tabasco. They are doing really well. These are the aubergine plants, and you can see they are fruiting as well. All of them. There are 6 this side, and in between my coriander there are 6 as well. I need to slowly remove the coriander plants maybe in a couple of days time, otherwise my aubergines are not going to get proper light and air as well. This is my strawberry bed. I put net on top of the plants to cover and protect from the birds. I added this wood shavings to make sure that the fruit is not landing on the soil. Sometimes the slugs can get to the soil and then eat the fruit. Still, they can make it into. So most of the fruit is going to land on these wood shavings. Hopefully, I'll get good harvest. This is my loganberry plant. Shed loads of fruit. Hopefully, I get all of them turned into fruit. Last year, I had a decent harvest. That was the first year loganberry I planted, and this is the second year. This is my raspberry bush, and you can see the fruit is forming. They look really healthy. This is my blackberry. You can see all the fruit everywhere, and both sides of the arch, and these shoots are for the next year. These are my gooseberries. You can see all of them are forming properly all the way through, and these are my blueberries, pink color blueberry, lots of fruit in it. And this one is a normal blueberry, this particular plant. You can see lots of fruit is forming, and at the end I got the currants. These are the black currants. Fruit is doing really well this year.